When I left religion and Christian fundamentalist churches, I noticed that traditional churches favor cis, heterosexual white men to be spiritual leaders and villainize and remove any non-male leaders. And we talked about the last time how any churches under certain denominational hierarchies, like the Baptist Church or fundamentalism, they will disown any group or church that has a female music minister, leader, anything like that. Men are considered and taught, and women are taught, that men are the hierarchy, the peak of God's creation. That men are symbols and stand-ins for God's authority. There's a reason why most organized major world religions have a masculine, manly Godhead. Because men wouldn't have the privilege, the awe, the entitlement if women were deemed to be made in the likeness of God. And it's really, really sad that women are not seen as equals. Women only have the ability to be in charge if they're teaching boys under 16, women, girls, and babies. No man or woman will vote for a female pastor, a female deacon, a female elder. And nobody is going to vote for her to be a leader who teaches males. Because men in fundamentalism, they don't see women as equal. They actually have doctrines in place and in church constitutions that bar women. There's such a gender disparity that I was taught as a child, and I went into this in the last video, that it's considered a judgment from God and unnatural for a woman to have dominion, speak, or have influence with or over a man. It's dehumanizing how religious people treat women. Women in these churches believe that God set up men to be the leaders. My own mother, born in the 1950s, believes that women should not be in charge. They won't even consider voting for a female president or a female pastor because they honestly believe that men are the most capable and they're the only group of people that have any right to that position because they're men. My own sister, born in the late 80s, believes this. My father, born in the 50s, believes it. My own brother, born in the early 90s and is a pastor, he believes this. It's dehumanizing. Any church that is penalized for electing and hiring a female leader who is worthy of any distinction, who's gone to seminary, who deserves this title of pastor or reverend or father, whatever you want to call them, based on what denomination you hold yourself to. And yet, the rules to be an elder or a deacon, like the first one, is you have to have a penis. You have to be male. Like, being a male makes you a better leader. Even though history has shown the best leaders in the world, like of any decade or century, have been women. England became a world power under Victoria and to Queen Elizabeth. That's all I need to say about women. And the really, really sad thing is, men couldn't get away with it. They could not get away with this crap if women did not allow it, adhere to it, believe that it is the gospel of God. If women didn't buy into it and see it as dogma, men couldn't get away with half the crap they pull in church. If women did not take the Kool-Aid, didn't drink the Kool-Aid, we are, every 20 years, raising up the next generation of men in church or any religion to view women as inferior, that men are, by destiny and divine intervention, the best leader possible, regardless of anyone who's better, who happens to be a female. Even if a woman has equal experience, talent, and skill, they will never consider a woman, period. Because she doesn't have a way. It's so dehumanizing the way Baptists treat women. They actually worship the ideal of male leadership. It's a cult. Every major religion views women as inferior. There are two different levels and distinction. Personally, I think Catholics or Mormons have the worst opinion of women. And when you grow up in a culture that says that women are only fit to do the potluck and the nursery, how in the world can you have self-confidence and see yourself as a woman worthy of respect and equality when you don't even see yourself that way? We are teaching the next generation of women to be servants, to be less than, to be arm candy. Women never get center stage unless they're engaged or married or dead. Because at funerals, you're the center. But they'll make it about God somehow. Women are never the primary reason something happens. Women are always secondary. Their hopes, their dreams, their career, they're expected to give it all up if a man says so. You would not believe the misogyny that happens in church. Churches favor men, but men are 95% of the predators that are arrested and sentenced to prison. 5% are women. Any religion that tells a group of people who have the highest stats of abuse and murder to be in charge and to rule, that God is fucked up. If God knew that men would abuse, manipulate, and treat women like crap 95% of the time, a moral God of morality would have chosen women who are 90% less likely to offend to be in charge. And in the last video, I went over this. Women nurture, they build, they protect, they create. Men tear down, abuse, manipulate. And I'm not saying that every man is bad, of course not. But our world was created with one intention in mind. How can we benefit men? From how you button your shirt to the shoes on your feet are designed to complement men. Everything about this world is how men can profit from it in some way. How can men benefit? How can they get an extra few steps ahead of women? Everything. Women are the left-handed people in this world. The world isn't built for women. And yet, women outnumber men. In my opinion, whichever group is the most influential or the biggest group deserves to be in charge. That's just the way it is. And if women are the majority and women do more work than men could ever dream of or appreciate, women should be in charge. On average, women work 17 hours more a week than men. They get paid for one shift and come home and do another unpaid shift. Men will never be as tired as women are. Women are never thanked enough. They're never appreciated enough. They're never honored enough. The only holiday in America that honors women is a heterosexual Mother's Day. There's no room in America for any other type of woman. Compulsory heterosexuality. If you're not a mother, men don't know what to do with you. They think you're a tragedy, unnatural, while a man can do everything a woman does, and they never give him shit. Organized religion is set up to profit and benefit men, to view everyone as inferior, because when you see people as inferior, it's easy to enslave them, to use them, to hurt them, to kill them, and to rape them. And until all churches and all religions and secular institutions value women equally with men, there's no such thing as a progressive church. If women don't have the exact access with opportunities that men of cis and heterosexual design have at their fingertips, they're not progressive. That's why I laugh when the Catholic Church says they're progressive. To my knowledge, they've never had a female pope. They've never had anything but a white, cis, heterosexual pope who's a male. That's not progressive. That's the Dark Ages. And until all churches of different religions and beliefs have as many women as in charge and in positions of senior leadership as they do men of white color, church has never been safe for women. They profit off women's free labor. They ridicule women for choosing to live life on their own terms, to be child-free, to be single. These churches see women as good for only two things: work at home and serving men. And if you're not serving men or working from home, they don't know what to do with you. And in my opinion, when men, especially religious men of privilege and heterosexuality, say that being 31, female, man-free, child-free, pet-free, and then these days I'm family-free because they ghost and are toxic, they say you're going to grow up, you're going to regret not having kids, you're going to die alone with your cats. My response is, I don't like cats, and don't threaten me with a good time. I don't need to serve men. And any man that expects me to serve him based on my gender and their religion is a piece of shit. Crap. I don't have to serve anybody. And if you're a fully functioning adult male, you have no business and no reason to be served. You need to make your own dinner, do your own laundry, you need to do your own cleaning, your own childcare. And you don't deserve an award for doing a load of laundry. Women do those hundreds of times a year. Men have to be awarded to put their shoes away, while women do 17 hours of labor a week, unpaid on average. They work an extra 6 weeks of 40-hour shifts that never gets the gratitude they deserve. Women put up with so much crap so men can watch football games, enjoy Christmas, never doing a dirty diaper. If women really understood the power they have and decided, you know what, I'm going to live for myself. And if that includes you, fine. If it doesn't, then goodbye driftwood. Women need to know the power they have. If women didn't give a crap and didn't give men the time of day, all these men's legacies would cease to exist by the end of the century. Men need to start respecting women. And women, don't be afraid to be alone. I've known many coworkers who were so terrified of being alone, they died because they got with bad men. Men who stalked them, killed them. Men have no respect or reverence for women's energy and labor. If you don't respect yourself, you will attract pieces of garbage. And in my opinion, the best thing about my life is being able to get off work, go home, watch whatever I want, eat whatever I want, without having to take care of a fully functioning adult who has the maturity of a third grader. I don't have anyone at home expecting me to cook them dinner when they have 2 feet, 2 hands, and the ability to cook. I don't have to do a grown man's laundry. I don't belong to a religion that sees me as childcare potential. I value myself. And yeah, it took me 30 years to figure out that men will never give me what I want, because that's not how they're programmed. And if you get lucky, win the lottery, and find a guy who actually does what somebody his age is supposed to do without needing an award to do a simple load of laundry, that's great. You don't have to marry them, but everyone can live life on their own terms. Anyone who gives women a hard time for living the life they've chosen and love are jealous, ignorant, or just insufferable. Women will never get the appreciation they deserve because men in religion see women as free labor and as a whole. And that's not being crude, that's just the reality. Stop centering men. And if any institution, belief system, or religion views you as a whole or as essential to keeping a man's legacy alive, leave. If it's not your legacy as much as it is his, leave. Life is short. Life is too short to put up with crappy people. And I'm happy being by myself. But one thing I've learned that hetero people just never can get through their thick heads. Living by yourself does not mean you're alone, doesn't mean you're sad, doesn't mean you're unhappy. I have life plans. I have dreams. Just because I'm single and child-free does not mean I have any more time than married people with kids. What I do is just as valid, important, and necessary as anything that the breeders do when they're not at work. And luckily, my family has learned to keep their mouth shut when it comes to making unsolicited comments about my life. And when you have the confidence, the vibe, the energy, people don't try things with me. I give off a vibe that makes people not push my boundaries. Maybe it's growing up in Alaska. Maybe it's just I don't give a shit. Men especially just don't push my buttons. They know better. Because I will tell people to their face that they are rude, insensitive, and ignorant. And if you have confidence, know your value, and don't take crap from people. You won't draw crap. You will draw the right kind of people, not maybe every moment of the day, but you will draw quality, consistent blessings into your life. I'm just done with man-centered institutions. And when men say you have no purpose outside of having kids or being under man's authority in church, my response is, go suck a fat one. I don't care.